Warning. This podcast may contain strong languages for mature audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello everyone, this is the B13 NerdCast of Randomness, and I am your host, Brandon Belanger, and this is the podcast we talk about everything and anything. And guys, one of the guests I have on the show today is none other than my older little sister, because I say little because she's shorter than me, Meghan O'Brien.
Hey!
How you doing?
Great, how are you?
I am doing fantastic. Yourself?
Lovely.
Lovely. So how you been?
Good, busy. How about yourself?
Busy as well, working like crazy because, work is work.
I hear that.
Yeah. And also you got 2 kids to worry about.
Yes, they keep me busy.
And you got Travis to worry about.
He's my 3rd kid.
That is. So pretty much you were like wondering, hey, what are we going to be talking about? Well, we're going to go down memory lane and talk about us.
Okay.
All right. So what's the first thing that comes to mind about our childhood when we were growing up?
Ooh, a lot. But I feel like you and I always like TV shows.
Yeah.
Classic, especially weekends, TV shows. And Power Rangers was a big one. I think it was like the first one.
Yeah.
I remember just acting out with Power Rangers all the time.
Yeah, we used to do it. I actually remember this. I think Power Ranger Turbo came out. We were watching it one day, and we were near the stairs, and you're trying to reenact one of the scenes with Tommy going near like the flames or something like that.
Probably.
I'm a baby, and she's like choking me down. She's like, "You gotta go down." yeah, I do remember that. But yeah, we used to reenact Power Rangers all the time. Every time we watched it, and you got into Power Rangers before I did. I was saying, right?
I did. I remember when it first came out. It was one of those things. Just after school, turn on Power Rangers, watch it, and then you just slowly, as you got older, started creeping in. Mm-hmm. Sat down with me, and we watched Power Rangers together.
Now, did you ever watch the remake? The 2017 remake?
I did not.
You didn't?
I didn't.
Your son did.
He enjoyed it.
I know.
He did.
I got him into it.
However, he still likes the originals.
I know, he does.
Because
I got him into it. She doesn't want to admit it.
He does.
So the other TV shows that we watched was Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That was a big one.
Now, explain why Buffy was such a big part of our lives.
So I actually just remember one day, I didn't watch it when it originally started. It was the season 1, and it was a couple episodes in, and then I just started watching it, and it was just one day after school again, flipping through channels, and I was like, what's this? And I've always been fascinated by the vampire culture. Mm-hmm. And I saw the original movie, which...
That was back in the 80s, early 90s?
I think early 90s, which... It was okay. I mean, it wasn't great, but whatever. It was cool. And then they took the series and just went with it. And Sarah Michelle Gellar is just amazing.
Had the biggest crush on her.
I know you did.
I did. I remember one time specifically, I think Scream 2, which, by the way, talked about the first movie. It's in the archives. Yes. She was in the second movie, and I think we watched it when I was a kid, which you're probably not supposed to watch when you're a kid. She was in the movie for a bit brief of time, and I remember she got her butt whooped, and I was very upset. I was like, why didn't she have the steak? Why didn't she kill the killer? Why didn't she save herself?
I remember that. I was so excited that she was in Scream 2, and I just kind of knew she didn't have a big part, but...
She played in a lot of great movies back in the 90s. There was, what was it?
I Know What You Did Last Summer.
I Know What You Did Last Summer. Mm-hmm. She did Scooby-Doo back in the day. Yeah, Scooby-Doo. Cruel Intentions.
Oh, she was ruthless in
I know.
Cruel Intentions.
She was doing that stuff.
She was ruthless, but she played the part so well.
And it was very shocking to see her play that ruthless type of character because she was like one of those iconic figures that you look up to.
Especially in Buffy, because she's the hero, the one that's going to save the world, save the day, and then you have a complete 180, and you see her come to this... Yeah, totally crazy.
And if you guys hear a dog barking, that's her dog downstairs.
He crazy.
He's crazy.
He crazy.
So don't think there's dogs killing each other. All right. So, so back to the Buffy, because that was like such a big part of our life right there. What was the season that you liked the most? I think it was season 2, if I'm not
Season 2 was definitely my favorite. And I think it because it really explored the Angel Buffy relationship a lot more. Mm-hmm. And it also showed, because I mean, I feel like season 1, it was just, all right, this is Buffy, this is the Slayer, what does it mean? And then I think we got to really go into her character a lot more into season 2, and then see the relationship and the forbiddenness of that relationship in season 2. And also, you get to know the characters a little bit better.
Yeah, seriously. And the thing is about season 2, you get to, like you said, you get to see the relationship bond between Angel and Buffy. It was so powerful, especially on her birthday. When she gets I know. It's funny because I still watch it to this day and it's just like heartbroken. And you guys can make fun of me all you want. I'm a huge Buffy fan, okay? It's better than Twilight, all right? But no, the thing that upsetted me, like I remember Angel was going to leave or something like that because there was a demon. There was parts of
the demon in the box.
Yeah, demon in the box. And pretty much Angel had to get rid of it and he had to like go somewhere far away to get rid of it. And he was going to be gone for a while. And Buffy did not want to do it or didn't want him to leave. And he gave her a birthday present, which was the famous clatter ring.
Clatter ring, yeah.
Yeah. And I remember you had that.
Yeah, I had it.
Just because of the show.
Yeah.
The heart represents love. The hand represents friendship. And the crown represents loyalty. And I said that to Kat one time, and she's like, wow, that was powerful. Where'd you get that from? Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
Yes, and then when you point the crown towards you, it means that the heart towards you, it means you're taken.
Yeah, and then Angel turns bad.
He does. That was, but you know what? David Boreanaz, he did such a good job with that as well, because you see him the whole entire time being this, like, loner, like, mysterious character who's in love with the Slayer. How poetic, because he's a vampire. And then all of a sudden, he becomes evil. And he plays it so well.
He went from regular jeans to leather pants.
Yeah, the outfits were so awful.
I mean, that's how the 90s were. People wore
They were.
So let me ask you a question, because I know you lived more of like the middle school lifestyle, so like pre-adulting, I guess you can say. So did teenagers actually wear stuff like that, like leather pants and stuff like that? Because I know that was a big thing.
No, Jenko jeans.
Jenko. A lot of people don't realize this. I rocked those when I was a kid.
Yeah, wide leg jeans, the cargo pockets, the little tattoo necklaces. Those are coming back.
Those are?
Yep, like 90s gear's coming back.
No, what you used to wear, I remember this. You used to wear like that arm.
Oh, the armbands.
The armbands. Including that like silver one when you were a teenager too. Mm-hmm. That was a thing. But, God, I can talk about Buffy for ages.
I know.
And then all of a sudden, Angel dies when he turns into a good guy at the end of the season.
Yeah, that was crush-worthy. And actually, I remember then they played Sarah McLachlan.
They did!
Which made it so much more tragic.
When it's here for
yes. Yeah. But I mean, like, that was a big thing for her. I mean, she did something that was pretty traumatic.
And it's funny that I'm going to be 30 and you're about 32 or something like that, right?
Something like that.
And we're still talking about Buffy to this day.
Mm-hmm.
And we're still... And the thing is, they're teenagers in the show back then, but we're still, like, traumatized of what happened back then.
Because it was a big thing.
Yes.
I mean, I remember that. That was hard for her. She left town.
No, what's the main thing you remembered about us watching Buffy?
Well, you kind of asked for it.
Yeah, I did.
So, there's my dog making a cameo. Hi, Petey, everybody. Hi, Petey. Okay. So, season 5 of Buffy, I remember it was the season finale.
Yeah.
And it was all about saving the world, saving her sister.
Yeah.
And
who doesn't exist.
Who didn't exist. She was the key.
Yeah.
And we were in Mom and Dad's bed. And I remember Buffy sacrificed herself.
Yes.
Because it was still Summer's blood.
Yeah.
And I was a shock. She died. Like, it was real life. She died. And I just remember, I look over.
And you were on the phone with someone at the time.
I don't even remember.
I remember you were on the phone with someone.
I don't know. And I just look over and Brandon's like, I go, are you okay? I mean, I was teary-eyed too. But like Buffy's dead.
Yep. A lot of memorable things happen in that bedroom, and I'll tell you guys about that in a second. But yeah, I cried during Buffy. A lot of people don't believe me that I cried during Buffy. I'm like, yes, So here's the proof.
It was. I remember I look over, tears, just crying.
Dramatically crying.
I was like, are you okay? Like, I felt bad.
And it was funny, too, because when I was crying, the character Spike on the show was crying. So it was just like...
That's right, because he had that secret, like, he loved Buffy.
Yeah, and he was, like, crying horrendously, just like I was. And I remember you were like, Brandon's crying. Or you were on the phone, Brandon's crying, Spike's crying, we're all crying.
We're all crying.
But I think it was just, like I said, I never cried during like a movie or a show after that. That was like the only time because that show was just so powerful. And I think it was just because we were just so invested in it. Because we used to watch it like every weekend.
Every week, yeah.
Along with Dawson's Creek and what was that other show? Felicity.
Oh, Felicity.
And yeah, there were all those great shows back in the WB56 days.
Oh, good times.
Good times. But then I think the one that was pretty crazy too was the next season, the beginning, when she comes back to life.
That was season 6. That was another weird one too.
Yeah.
But that's when Willow really harnesses the black magic.
Yeah.
Which has its consequences. And yeah, she brings back Buffy from the dead.
Yeah.
That was a big one.
That was and they had the robot.
They had a robot Buffy, yeah.
Oh,
I remember that. That was intense.
And they split her in half with like a chain. No, remember there was like a biker group of vampires?
Yes, because they realized that there was no Slayer anymore, so there was no one to protect it. Yep, nope, I remember that, and that was crazy, and then it came out that she was actually in heaven, so they pulled her from a peaceful place.
Yeah. So now, besides all the nerdy stuff now that we got that out of the way, let's go down memory lane about other stuff. So this woman right here, okay, when I was a little bit tinier, but now I'm taller, so I have a better advantage. Don't do that. She used to pick on me all the time.
False.
She used to pick on me all the time. She hung me for my underwear. Yes, you did. She wants to act like she never done any of these things because she's married. She has a few kids. She wants to sound like an adult, okay? And she wants to be a great influence on the boys, who I love very much as well, okay? But she did hang me for my underwear. Please explain that story before we get into more. One day I'm going to get my revenge.
I don't even know why it happened.
Well,
I just remember, you know what? My son's going through this now. You have a younger, your younger sibling that wants to be with you all the time. Because who else are you going to play with when you're at home all the time? Following you around everywhere.
Yep.
And you like to follow me around
I did.
everywhere.
You were a big influence in my life.
Follow me around everywhere, and I just sometimes got a little annoyed by it. And
you hated it because there were times you would try to run back to your room, lock the door. I'm like, I want to hang out.
And he would bang on the door, open the door.
And she would like always be on the phone. I was like, can I be on the phone with you? No. I'm trying to talk to people.
I was a teenager at the time, so I wanted my teenage friends. But yeah, no, I remember that was awful. I felt bad. That was mean. But yes, no, I did. It's a true story.
You and Jay used to pick on me all the time.
Was that a love?
No, it wasn't. I can't remember who it was because I remember I talked about it in the movie Scream because that was such a big deal. You had a Scream costume. I know. I have a great memory on these things. We were talking about this.
I don't remember.
No, it's funny because I remember I brought it up to you. I was like, oh yeah, you were with your friend, one of the O'Connells back in the day.
That lived down the street. Yep.
And I was like, yeah, you were dressed up like Ghostface. And you had like the fake knife, and I go up to her outside, and she was like one of those like, I need my space with my friends. I was like, hi Megan. She walks away like I didn't exist.
I don't remember.
She doesn't remember that, but I remember that. I was a 5-year-old, traumatized, trying to say hi to my sister.
I would be traumatized if I saw a Scream face as a 5-year-old.
But I was like, hey. So when she got the costume, I can't remember if it was you or Jay. So one of you wore the mask, and one of you had like the fake knife, whatever. And you guys were like chasing me in the house with it. And I was scared shitless. I'm sorry for my language. We're going to kind of keep this a little bit PG-13 a little bit. Still, viewer discretion is advised. But I remember one of you guys was chasing me down the house. And then all of a sudden, one of you pretended to like stab yourselves and go down. And I was like, are you okay? And then you scared me.
I feel like that's a Jay thing.
Yeah.
I'm not that creative. Like, I'm not that, like, I wouldn't think of that. No, I feel like that's definitely a Jay thing.
And you let him do that.
Was I there?
It doesn't matter. It was your costume. You had responsibilities.
I do remember, though. That costume is so iconic just because it's everywhere. I still see it now.
I like how you call it the Scream face on the podcast.
Yeah.
It's called Ghost Face.
Scream face,
Get it
ghost
right.
face, whatever.
That was the only thing you messed up on.
I'm so sorry.
I was very upset.
So sorry.
No wonder why the views were not that good on that episode.
It's because of me. Because of what I did.
It's all your fault. Okay, it's all good. And so what I was saying about the bedroom or my parents' room, I know that sounded a little bit weird when I said that.
It does.
I do apologize.
It does. Yep.
But no, so I tell people this, and again, it's one of those stories people don't believe me, but I have to have someone that was there when it
Are we
happened.
talking about the carpet?
We're talking about the carpet.
Oh, that was scary.
So before I tell the story, why don't you explain your side of the story about the carpet, the parents' bedroom situation?
I don't even know what was going on in the house. You were a little toddler at the time.
I was 4.
Oh, yeah. You were just
Toy Story pajamas.
everywhere. Always constantly busy, into things. Like, I mean, we could talk about the pool next.
The pool.
You in the pool.
We'll talk about that next.
But I remember you came around the corner and you said, "Mummy, hot." And we're like, "What?" And you're like, "Hot. And we're like, and all of a sudden the fire alarm goes off and we're like, okay, clearly something's going on here. And I just remember Dad coming out with like, because I think you took a face cloth and somehow lit it on fire. No clue how that happened. And you got so scared that you tossed it and it went into Mom's basket full of stuff. It's not funny. It's funny now because it's over with, but it was not funny at the time. And I just remember like, okay, what did I learn at school? Because I was little too. All right, I'm gonna take Brandon outside. We're gonna go, and I just remember crying outside, being like, "Oh my goodness, we're not gonna have a house. It's gonna burn down."
And I was screaming like a girl too.
Yeah. And then eventually, yeah. So I remember Wayne got the stuff down, put it out, and they still have that same carpet. It's still there, and there's a burnt mark. They just put another carpet over it, and I laugh because sometimes every once in a while I like to just go look and be like, "Oh, there's a memory."
I looked at it about a few months ago when I was telling the story to somebody. I gotta take a picture of it, and I'll probably put it on this podcast afterwards. So what I remembered about it, and yes, again, I got a good memory. I was 4. So what happened was I was in my parents' bedroom because for some odd reason I never hung out in my room. Remember that? I used to just hang out in their room constantly.
Well, you slept there a lot of it for the first early years, so it makes sense.
Yeah, so I used to go in the room like all the time. And what happened was I was playing with my toys. I was in my parents' bed watching TV like always. And I was in Toy Story pajamas, like I said. And I go near their hutch with the mirror and like the dresser and all that. And I end up seeing a lighter. And of course, it might have been
candles.
Yeah, so Mom with the candles. So I found a lighter, and on top of the hutch, they had like one of those like, I don't know, like one of those like stray hats with like the string hanging off.
Oh, that's from Australia, because if they hang corks from their hats, because it keeps the mosquitoes away.
Yes. So I saw the lighter, and 4-year-old me doesn't know how to work it. First try, ooh, got all amused by it. And so I saw the string. It was hanging down from the hutch. This is what I remember. So I saw the string, I saw the lighter, I put it on, and that's what really happened.
Oh, it wasn't a face cloth?
No, it wasn't a face cloth.
I thought it was.
No, you think I would be... Yeah, that's like me saying, I'm going to get a bottle of alcohol and put, some kind of, face cloth in there, burn it down, and just... No! I'm 4!
I wasn't in the room, so I don't know.
That sounds awful. That's when you're supposed to bring me to an insane asylum at that point.
Well, it was an accident. It was like on purposeful.
Yeah. Love you, puppy.
Sorry, Petey.
I know. He's hearing the story. He's so upset about it. So I saw the string and I saw the lighter and I just put it on there and it started going up and I was like, ooh. And again, I'm a kid.
You're like, ooh, what is this?
Yeah. So then all of a sudden I remember I used to be calm about everything. You realize that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So something like that happens. I'm just going down the hall just like, hey guys, hot bedroom. I guess that's what happened.
You just, hot. And we're like,
so I remember you guys were watching TV, like you guys used to watch your shows.
Yeah, at nighttime they would have their shows.
Yeah. And all 3 of you and Jay, I think, were in there. And I remember there was a music background. I can't believe I remember that. So once I said that, they go in the room. They're like concerned, like what? And all of a sudden, I remember they both screamed like, ah! And they were going to my room, my room, their room, bathroom, like constantly going back and forth.
Bathtub, yes.
And there was a music going on in the background. It was like one of those like fast motion.
Oh, I don't know.
And I remember you were bringing me outside, like, let's go outside. And I'm screaming, ah! like a little girl. And I remember the fire trucks came. Jay brings me downstairs. I think he was like calling a friend. He's like, look, fire trucks.
See, I don't even remember there being fire trucks.
Yeah, there was fire trucks. There was firefighters come in. They check on my hand because they thought I burned it or something. Put face cloth. They're like, you like Toy Story and all that, trying to be like all kiddish with me. But yeah, I burned my parents' room on fire at 4 years old.
Just a little section of it.
But I'm sure it was it was like a big piece of fire in their room. I didn't see how big it was.
I just remember seeing Wayne come around the corner with the hats.
Swearing,
and he threw them in the bathtub.
Yep.
And I just remember taking you outside and thinking that we're going to be like the family in town that had the burnt house.
We've always been that family in town.
Not the burnt house.
But yeah, I burned my parents' room on fire. This one was bringing me outside. Was like worrying about me, and Jay was like, "Hey, look, fire trucks!"
I didn't even know where Jay was. I just took you outside.
I guarantee people are gonna listen to this, be like, "What kind of fucking excuse my language, but what kind of family were you guys raised in?" I was like, "A pretty unique one." Okay.
Well, but I made sure you were safe.
Yeah, thank you, Megan. You showed that you cared. I love you so much.
But speaking of you being busy, you were always busy. Like we always had to constantly watch you because when you were 2. You almost drowned.
Yeah, so there's a pool story. So tell me about that. I don't know anything about that.
So you were in the sandbox. It was me, Noni.
The turtle sandbox.
Yes, the infamous turtle sandbox.
I used to call it Donatello because that was my favorite Ninja Turtle. Still is.
And you were playing there,
okay.
And Noni, she hurt her knee. She was in her ankle. She was in an air cast.
Okay.
And she was doing something with the pool, and then I don't know, I was doing something. And no one even saw you. You moved so quick. You went up the ladder, and Papa at the time was just going to build a gate for you, but just didn't finish it.
Our grandfather.
Yes. And he was going to build it because you were always busy.
Yeah.
And you jumped into the pool.
Really? And this is above ground pool.
And you were like 2 years old.
Really?
And we were concerned because of your asthma and this and that. And Noni couldn't run fast enough because she had her really bad ankle. So I jumped in and pulled you out.
Mm-hmm.
I saved your life.
Wow. This is why she's like one of my favorite siblings.
No, but yeah, I remember it was really scary. But it just goes to show you how fast. Like people always make like kids. It happens really fast. Mm-hmm. But it really did. Because you were off playing in your sandbox, and then out of nowhere you were in the pool, and I was like, what just happened? And Noni was outside of the pool trying to fix the motor because something was wrong.
Yeah. That's crazy. I did not know that. When you said pool, I was like thinking of the first thing that came to mind of why Jay's an asshole. I'm going to say that. Because remember we used to have like one of those like nets for the bugs, and he put that net on me and it was filled with bugs?
Yes. You
didn't help me then, did you?
But I saved your life.
You did! Twice!
No, but I do remember that, yeah. Because I remember Wayne was at work. I don't know where anyone else was. It was just us 3 at home. And you were in the sandbox, and Mom needed help with something, and you just jumped in the pool.
You saved my life.
I did.
I'm so bad because I bought you a gift and I forgot to bring it!
I still love it.
I got her an angel action figure from Buffy, and I was going to bring it on the show, and of course, I always forget something. And as Kat would say, I would have... She's right next to me. She's just on her phone. But I had one job. Hi, Kat. She's just smiling. She's there.
Smiling.
So let's talk about some more stuff about you. So for what I remember growing up, as we know, our dad was really into sports. He coached you. He coached me. He coached Jay when it came to baseball and basketball. You were more of the basketball type. And I know you did play baseball and softball, but what made you continue, before we get into more stories, what made you continue doing basketball before we get into more stories about that?
I just had a love for basketball because I remember I did a lot of different things.
Mm-hmm.
I did baseball because Wayne was president of the baseball league.
Yeah.
So I used to hate getting there, but once I got there, I liked playing.
I hated baseball, but we'll get on that.
I know.
He would make me dress up. I was like Jameson or Jackson. I was like, I don't want to dress up. It was uncomfortable. Wearing those long socks and everything. Those pants.
It's a lot of work. No, but, and then I played basketball, and then I did dance. And then I remember once I got old enough, it was kind of like you kind of have to make a decision to like where are you going to devote most of your time. And I decided basketball. And there's just something about the love of basketball, and I don't know what it was for me, but just I don't know. And I think what I love more about basketball is most people like the ability to score, do those kinds of things. Not me.
Yeah.
I liked playing defense and getting the ball for my team.
Yeah, and you actually made it to the newspaper one time doing basketball.
Oh, yes, that's right.
The what is the word? Infamous?
I don't know.
Infamous,
I don't
her being on, like, I think you were in the cover of, like, the Telegraph or something. National Telegraph?
I think so, yeah. Maybe.
And it was just you going like this. Your face is barely showing, but your dad, I remember dad was, like, so proud of you. He, like, laminated it, put it on the wall and stuff like that. But I remember, like, for you in basketball, you started at a very young age. If I'm not mistaken, you started, if I'm not mistaken, 5?
Yes,
like
I
that?
started very young, and I used to, and I mean, obviously, you know, we had an older sibling, like Jay always played sports, so I was always at baseball fields, basketball courts, like I feel like that was our life. That was our life.
That was our life.
That was our life, so it was just something that naturally came to us. However, basketball did not come easy for me. I'm 5'1".
Yeah. I'm
And
6'4".
I remember the turning point for me was I wanted to try out for a traveling team.
AAU?
No, it was like a bunch of girls that I went to school with. And I did not make the team.
Really?
Nope. I mean, I could not dribble.
Yeah.
I was not in the best of shape because I really enjoyed my Oreo cookies back then at nighttime.
I did too. But I remember, like, Wayne used to train you in the front yard. We used to have a basketball court. I remember there were times he was like, okay, we're going to have jump ropes and all this stuff. Like, he used to train the crap out of you.
So eventually, so after that, I kind of had 2 choices because I could either not pursue it or I could try again next year. So for the next year, I did. I actually tried extremely hard, you know, worked out, worked on my dribbling, and I went back and tried out and I made the team.
Yeah.
And I remember the coach even highlighting it at the time, being like, oh, I remember Meghan being here last year. Couldn't see what she was doing.
Now, how many basketball teams in total would you say you played for? Throughout when you were, like, young to all the way to your senior year of high school?
Well, I played City Rec, which we all did pretty much.
Yeah.
So countless amount of those. And then AAU, I did the Shooting Stars.
Which was the big one.
Mm-hmm. And then I went to another... I did a lot. And then middle school and then high school.
Panthers.
Which
was an AAU team for more of the high school.
Yep. That was more of a mesh of high school and some other people. So... a lot.
And I remember for AAU, for Shooting Stars, there was a lot of traveling at the time.
We went everywhere.
And it was mostly just like in the New England area. If I'm not
One
mistaken.
time, I think we went to New York.
We did. It was multiple times.
Lake George,
New York,
yep.
And we used to travel along with the team. Mm-hmm. I used to do the rock climbing.
Yes. I remember we went to the amusement park. Now it's Six Flags, but before that, I think it was called the Great Escape.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
And I used to flirt with all the girls when I was younger.
Oh, you enjoyed that, being our little basketball, ball boy.
I used to say, hey, this is my girlfriend right here. I think there was one time I was kissing him on the cheek and you're like, Brandon, you can't do that. You're only a kid. Like, you can go to,
Yes, no, you like to entertain us.
I did. I was the entertaining part of the group. I think there was one time, the Shooting Stars, you guys did, like, the little pose down pictures with, like, the ball on the knee and stuff like that. And I was like, can I be part of it, too?
I remember that. I have that picture somewhere of you, like, down with your little curls. And you have the ball in your hands and you're kneeling.
Yeah. How hard was it for you to manage school and basketball at the same time, though? And you were, like a good student that I remember from all the way from elementary school to high school to college, even getting your master's degree. You know, you were like a hardworking, dedicated student, but also you were focusing on basketball as well, or even extracurricular activities, because in college you did dancing as well. So how'd you manage to do all that stuff? And I have a friend, Chris, who I talked about with all that. So how'd you manage it?
I mean, high school was a big transition for me just because I went to public school my whole life, and then I went to private school. I went to BJ.
Bishop Girton High School.
But I will say I ended up enjoying it.
Yeah, well, you weren't one of those rich, snobby kids, thank God.
But I will say it was definitely tough because you had time management.
And also, you had to make a lot of new friends, too.
I didn't have any friends when I first started out there. I had, like, one, if that.
Was it Rachel?
Yeah, Rachel did not like me when she first met me. She said I had a face that wasn't nice.
She what?
You didn't know this?
No.
Oh, so Rachel and I both transitioned in to BG.
Yeah.
And I had to do summer school.
Yeah.
Because,
oh, really? You had to do summer school?
Yeah, because there were some things I didn't know that were like prerequisites that I had to do before going to start BG.
Mm-hmm.
And I took a summer class with her, and I remember she just did not like me. She would just glare at me. We had a mutual friend in mind that I played basketball with, and that's how I got to
Renee?
No, not Renee. It was another girl named Katie, and so I got to. And then we actually started hanging out together more and more and realized, like, I think I just appeared to be somebody she wouldn't like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I remember I used to wear, like, the Abercrombie and Fitch clothes. And I think I presented myself in a way that maybe seemed like it wouldn't be an attractable friend.
I thought of you more as a tomboy
I
type of
was.
girl. Like, you were, like, not a girly girl, but, like, you were a girl, but you didn't, like, I don't know. You just had, like, that punk rock looking look at one point.
I do like to hang out with the guys a lot more.
And you had all those piercings on your ears. You had the tongue piercing. She had the belly button. She got the tattoos. She actually has a few more now. That's why me and her are best friends now.
But yeah, no. So she at first did not like me, but then we became best friends.
And you guys started becoming friends sophomore year? Because
Yeah.
you didn't start freshman year.
I did
Because it was
not
still
get
a junior high at the time.
Yeah, I went to Fairgrounds all the way through 9th grade because we were junior high school.
Yep.
And then I went transition into sophomore year, which is even more difficult because all these kids are together pretty much their whole life at private school. And then I'm coming in as a public person, but not even starting as a freshman, coming in as a sophomore. But it all worked out, and Rachel and I became really best friends from the experience.
And she's still your friend to this day.
She is.
And they graduated. Yes, I remember this. You guys graduated high school back in 2004.
Yeah.
Didn't she go to Colby Sawyer with you guys for a little bit?
For a little bit, yes.
Yeah.
And then she transitioned to somewhere else.
Nice. And they're still friends to this day. And wasn't she a maid of honor or a bridesmaid for your wedding?
Yes.
Which was back in 2011.
You've got all the dates down, but yes.
I do.
I'm not good with dates.
Yeah. So that's crazy that you went. And how was schooling like for you? Like, how important was that to you?
Oh, school was always important. I was totally that kid. Like, I remember I would wake up at, like, 3rd grade, and I would wake up Wayne and be
you were
like,
such a bookworm.
I'd be like, I forgot to do my homework. He's like, okay, so just tell them you didn't do it. I go, no, I'll get a 0.
I remember, and here's the thing. Like, school was very hard for me, as you know. But, like, I remember I used to go in your bedroom. You used to have, like, notes on everything. And I'm just, like, looking at this. I'm like, oh, my God, I don't want to go to high school. This looks so confusing.
It was definitely overwhelming, but I mean, I think it's all part of, gotta get through high school. I mean, and it definitely is a time management thing, when you have to do extracurriculars and you do school at the same time. And I feel like that's a struggle that lots of kids have nowadays. And I think that's why I'm in the career that I chose to be in, is to help them out.
And she's a great human being, like I said. Oh, jeez. And I'm not just saying that. She is. I looked up to this woman my entire life. Even when she gave me the wedgies.
It gave you character and resiliency.
Yeah, you gave me character. I started being annoying. Kat now has to suffer from it now.
Well, you should ask Kat to have you do the bye 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 dance.
Hell no! That's not happening. Remember at Angela's wedding, I was so petrified of doing it?
Well, because I felt so bad for you. Because, like, I get it. It's one thing when you're in the comfort of your home. I used to make you do it all the time.
I used to do it.
NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye. You'd be like,
from 2000 all the way to 2003. I'm being dead serious. I would, even by myself, I would do it in the garage. I would do it in the living room, the kitchen.
Anytime it came on.
And there could be like 50 people at our house, and I would do it.
Drop.
But at a wedding, for some odd reason, and I remember this, I was 9, but I was like scared.
Well, there was a stressor because people were like, we're going to play that song. And I remember but they played the wrong one.
Yeah.
Which was actually in your favor. Because you didn't want to do it.
Yeah.
It was, it's going to be me that someone played.
Yeah.
But I remember, no, it was so funny. I used to do it all the time. My friends would be over and be like, watch this, guys. And I would just put on Bye Bye Bye. And it would be, you would instantly stop what you were doing. And she'd be like, bye, 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 bye.
Yeah. Yeah. And I still know the dance to this day at almost 30.
I have a feeling that there's going to be a request at your wedding.
Kat, you better not tell anybody to make us play that song.
No. Can I request it?
No, it's not going to happen. Because all my friends are going to watch it and they're going to be like,
oh, I'll record it.
oh, hell no.
See, that was the beauty of me growing up. I was in a day and age of no cell phones and all that fun stuff. Nowadays.
Oh, that's definitely not happening then. But yeah, I used to do Bye 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 at Angela's wedding, who's biologically my mom. So at the wedding, I guess someone played it. I ran, hit underneath the table.
I remember that. I felt so bad you did, because they did something.
And the guy on the microphone, the DJ, he's like, oh my God, he's running underneath the table.
Well, I felt bad because there was so much pressure, because you did do it. Like, it was epic how well you did it. You knew every move, everything, and you're just like this little cute kid. And I felt so bad. You were so terrified.
And I remember I was going underneath the table. I think I had an anxiety attack for the first time.
It's scary.
I go underneath the table. I'm like, I don't want it. And I think Angela or Noni or someone went out and they're like, are you going to come out? I was like,
Then they end up playing It's Gonna Be Me, which wasn't even the right song anyways.
And you were like so disappointed. You were like, that's not the song. I mean, I'm glad he knows the dance to that one, but that's not the song.
No, Bye 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 is the epic, like, you've got it down to a science.
But the Backstreet Boys, we used to...
Oh, yeah!
We used to do that all the time. You know what's crazy to me? Okay, so Megan... not Megan. You're Megan.
Hi.
Our mom, Noni.
Yeah.
And who else did I talk to? I think it's Noni and Peggy. We used to talk about how great of a student you are and stuff like that, which is true. She was an A+ student. She focused on school constantly. But you used to watch, like, movies, and I used to watch these movies with you, like, all the ridiculously teenage funny movies. Like, we used to watch Can't Hardly Wait.
Oh, my goodness, Can't Hardly Wait.
Can't Hardly Wait. God, what other movies can you think of?
She's All That came
She's
out
All
on
That.
time.
10 Things I Hate About You.
I love 10 Things I Hate About You, Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
I know.
Best Joker ever.
Great.
But we used to watch, like, all those movies, and I know you were, like, you had your party phase at one point. We won't get into it because you have kids watching, potentially. But you did have a party phase in your day, and I'm just like, how can a woman that's so intelligent, who gets A+, can watch movies like this that are so ridiculous? American Pie, that's another one.
American Pie.
The original first one we're talking about.
I haven't seen that in so long.
Yeah, but you used to watch movies like that. You used to reenact movies like that. You used to say phrases from it and all that. And I'm like, back then I used to think it's funny. Now thinking about it now, it's like, man, Megan, you're a bad person. At that time.
Well, I'm going to give you the brain psychological point of it. Our brains are not fully developed until we hit our early 20s. Yeah. So I was still learning.
You were still young.
I was still young and still learning.
But it's cool when we do talk about those movies and we're like, remember that movie? And we're like, oh my God, like, Can't Hardly Wait. I think that was like one of the movies.
Oh, that was phenomenal. I can't remember, Seth Green played the little...
gangster kid.
Yes! And he had the backpack full of love.
That's a candle, bitch. Damn.
Yes.
And there was like a guy who was like madly in love with Jennifer Love Hewitt, who was like the biggest star back in the 90s.
I can see his face. I just can't give him a name right now.
I forgot his name. His name was Preston in the movie.
Preston, yeah. I just can't think of the actor's name.
But yeah, he was like deeply in love with this woman, and he was like a decent student, looked like he was going to go far in life. And he was like madly in love with this girl for like 4 years of high school.
Amanda.
Oh
yeah, Amanda. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Yes.
Urkel.
Yes.
If you haven't seen Can't Hardly Wait, go watch it.
I recommend it. It's a great one from
great
the 90s.
Teenage comedy movie of the 90s.
Yes.
It was fucking awesome.
Classic.
But yeah, and it's funny that one of those guys ended up being on Twilight.
That's right.
The jock, the Urkel guy, yeah.
Yes, he was the dad.
He was the father. I was like, that guy looks familiar.
I remember that. I remember when Twilight came out and I saw it, I was like, no way. Can't Hardly Wait. There he is.
Yeah, but the one character that I loved in that entire movie was, God, what the hell was his name? William Lichter. He was the nerdy one. So he had a plan to get against Dexter because he used to get picked on because he was like an A+ student, honors, and he goes to a party. He becomes the most popular kid in school on the last day.
Well, I laughed because he had like the little alcohol card too, like how many beers are too many to be intoxicated because he was gonna like.
And then he had one too many, and then he was like,
no.
Here, I want you to have this. Oh, thank you. And he ended up doing Guns N' Roses, Paradise City.
Yes, that's right.
Take me down to Paradise City.
He sang the whole thing.
He did. It was freaking hilarious. That was the best part of the whole movie. And that's actually how I got into Guns N' Roses, because of that movie.
I remember that. That was good.
But yeah, I Can't Hardly Wait. That was such a great movie.
Nope, that was a definite good one. I forgot about American Pie, classic.
Yeah.
Trying to think of some other ones. 10 Things I Hate About You I enjoyed tremendously.
But I think Can't Hardly Wait, that was like always on, so you always watch that.
It was like one of those ones when I was on TV was my go-to.
Yeah.
Like,
and another thing too is, we talked about this before, but you used to watch a lot of horror movies. And at that time, I used to be very afraid of horror movies. I'll be honest, I was. But you used to watch like...
As a teenager, that was like my big thing. I would go to movie theaters. I'd like to see the new release of a movie.
Yeah.
I remember like when the Ring came out, that scared the crap out of me.
With Sarah Michelle Gellar? Ring,
you're
the
thinking
television.
of The Grudge.
Yeah, the Ring on the TV center.
Yes, that was a big one when I was younger that came out. That was like,
Payday. Stop it. I think Kat's sleeping.
Good for her.
Good for her. I'll edit that.
But yeah, no, I remember The Ring came out. That was like a big scary thing.
Yeah.
Like, I remember all the kids in my class were super scared.
Yeah, because you put a tape in, you're going to die in 7 days.
Yes, it was creepy. And then little Samara coming out of the TV.
You know what's funny? I never once seen that movie.
I've never seen that movie.
And everyone's like, well, how do you know about it? Because I watched the parody movie of Scary Movie 3.
Oh, yeah, I think that's what it was.
Which was... all right, the first two are the best. I used to reenact those movies to you all the time. You're like, Brandon, come over here.
I'm thinking of the butler in the second. That's my strong hand.
Rest a little hand.
That's my strong hand.
That's my strong hand. That's when she was a bad influence on me. She'd be like, Brandon, come over here. And all of her friends will be around, which I don't know how you got away with all those parties at our house majority of the time. I told Noni and Wayne about it, and they'd be like, we never knew about it. And I was like, oops. My bad. But yeah, she used to sneak people at our house all the time when I was a little kid trying to hang out. And she'd be like, no, Brendan, you go to your room. Because she was babysitting me at the time.
Well, parents were home.
Yeah, so.
You just like to hang out.
All right, so the one last thing we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
Your relationship with Travis. So her and her husband, that I remember, have been together for 18 years?
You know better than I am because you know you're dating.
So Meghan went off to college back in 2004 of September or August, whenever it started. And she met a guy named Travis O'Brien. They started dating in November of 2004.
Yep, you're very good with your dates.
It is now 2000 and... I have a watch on this arm.
I was like...
2022. So yeah, you guys been together for 18 years.
Oh my gosh.
And you guys been married for 11 years in June.
Yeah.
Wow. And you haven't killed him yet?
Give it time.
Give it time. So my question is, how'd you guys meet? How'd that all start?
We were in the same dorm. I remember I was a freshman. He was a sophomore. I actually became friends with his roommate because his roommate was very outgoing. Mm-hmm. If you've met Travis, he is not outgoing until you get to know him.
Yep.
Pure opposite of who I am.
Yeah.
And we just clicked. I don't know how to explain it because I started trying to hang out with his roommate, and then Travis would just always be there. And then Travis ended up actually throwing me a birthday party.
Really?
Yes. It was a very mini one, but like in his dorm and things like that.
Wow.
And then I guess we just started hanging out more, and that's, you know, the rest is history, which I wasn't planning on going to college and having a serious relationship. But...
So was it him dressing up like a urinal that made you fall in love with him?
That's right.
Because that...
That's right. Halloween. He always, because he loves Halloween. I will say that's what's cool about him. He likes to dress up. He was a royal flush. Yeah. So he was dressed in like royalty, like a king, and then had a urinal. He said so many people tried to pee on him.
He had some unique costumes that I remember too back in the day.
Yes. Yes.
A urinal.
Yes, a royal flush.
So that's how you guys first fell in love. He threw a birthday party for you, and the rest was history.
And I guess the rest was history. It was just the first guy who showed me some kindness and threw me a party.
Oh my god, that's so horrible.
And then I got to meet his family, and I loved his family.
I remember one time you made a joke. I don't know if you remember this. So I remember you used to have like a picture of him in your old Honda Civic back in the day, the silver Honda Civic. I think it was in 1999.
Meg
something.
15.
Yeah. Yeah, and she used to have a picture of Travis, like, on the what the hell was it? It was on the car.
Oh, the dashboard.
Dashboard, thank you.
Yep.
So it was on the dashboard, and I was like, oh, you got a picture of Travis in here? Like, what's wrong with you? She made a joke, and I shit you not, she said this. He broke up with me.
Actually, you remember all these things that I don't remember.
She did. So, me being young at the time, I used to care about my sister very much. God, I remember one time she got hurt in basketball. She had to wear a neck brace. I gave her the biggest hug because I was like, oh my God, you're not hurt. And that's how much I cared about you, Megan. So, she told me that he broke up with her, which was a joke. So, Travis, if you're watching this, that's what she said at the time. And so, yeah, she made a joke of that. And I remember he comes to the house and I'm like, kill this son of a bitch. I'm gonna kill this motherfucker. I'm gonna beat him up. And then you told me it was a lie, and I was like, why'd you mess with me like that?
I don't remember. I'm sorry.
Well, that's what happened.
This is what happens when you get old.
How dare you?
Forget things.
So anyways, you graduated college back in 2008. He graduated in 2007. And then eventually you guys moved in together at an apartment. He lived with us for a little bit.
He did. That basement.
Yeah.
He lived in
the legendary basement.
The basement.
Where we had all the crazy parties at the time.
No, he lived there, and then we lived in Nashua. And then, and then he asked me to marry him.
So how'd that happen? Was it, if I'm not mistaken, if I heard correctly, it was like an Easter egg hunt?
Yes. Now, there's a romantical side, but it's not true. So I guess it's kind of true. So Travis said there was an Easter egg that I had to go find.
Yeah.
So I'm looking around the house. Travis the entire time was watching the Red Sox play. And he was not helping me, which is fine because I guess it was my purpose. And of course, he puts the egg on the tallest shelf possible. 5'1" Meghan being like, and I get it down, and so I'm all like, open up, like, oh. Okay, so you would think in a normal situation, he would get up, get down on one knee. Nope, that's not Travis.
Yeah.
Travis from the couch goes, oh, so will you marry me?
Just like that.
As he's watching the game.
He's just like, yeah, will you marry? He didn't go on one knee or anything. He's just like, will you marry me?
Because it was, the baseball was on and all this good stuff. So I just remember looking at him being like, but.
Wow.
That's Travis. If you know Travis, that's Travis.
It's okay. I asked Kat to marry me twice in one day. Did you hear about that story? You didn't hear about this story. All right. So what happened was, well, she's asleep, but she already knows this story. So.
Of course, I was there.
Okay, so what literally happened, so I was planning it to make it like a surprise, and I got like super excited when I bought I got nervous when I bought the ring. I was like, oh my God, this is actually happening. So a few weeks go by, and I'm like being all confident, like, yeah, I got this, man, I'm a man, whatever. So the day I'm supposed to do it, 4 hours of work left goes by, and I'm like, oh my God, she's going to say no. So I'm getting nervous as hell. So, and again, this is like a surprise. Like, she did not know about this whatsoever. So, when I get home, I'm like, okay, you're going to do it. You're going to do it when you get home. So, I go home, and I have the ring ready. She's in her towel. She just took a shower. So, she's in her towel. And I literally talked to her, and I was like, babe, you know I love you, right? And we just kept talking. And I said, you mean the world to me. And I started crying because I, care about her so much. And I was like, I love you, babe. You mean the world to me. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. I don't want to be with anybody else. And I go down on one knee while she's in a towel, by the way, in our townhouse. And she said yes, and we gave each other like a big hug, kiss, all that. And she's like trying it on. She's like, oh my God, it looks so beautiful, all that type of stuff. And then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, just so you know, that get-together we were having, it's not for your birthday. It was for a surprise engagement.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So I was like, yeah, I'm going to need that ring back. And so everyone that's watching this, they're like, you're a lying sack of shit, Brandon.
We know the truth.
We know it. But yeah, I got really nervous. So when we went back...
Well, that's nice because it's personal.
And that's what she said too. And yeah, it was personal.
Yeah.
So then we went to where we went to, and I sung to her her song. And then I wasn't so pressured anymore. I felt nice and relaxed.
You got it done and you knew the answer.
Yeah. But then again, it could change after the second time. She'd be like... Yeah, I don't know if I want this anymore.
Just kidding. See, I'm mean, so I probably would have done that.
That's fucked up.
I know. I'm really like, I don't know, maybe.
But yeah, so I asked her the second time. So she got asked twice in one day.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah, so that's what happened.
Oh, but I think it worked out nice, though.
It did.
Yeah.
So back to you. For the wedding, you guys had a tremendous wedding, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
It was very beautiful, very like set up nicely. How many people ended up going to that wedding? I felt like there was like 100.
A little under 100. We didn't get a full 100.
Really?
Yeah.
I remember there was like so many people I saw that I haven't seen in years.
Yes.
And I was really skinny at the time too. Toothpick Brandon. But there was one thing about the wedding that always came to my mind, and I mentioned it to Kat. I mentioned to like a lot of friends that I never thought I would see in a million years. You guys had a choreographed.
It wasn't choreographed.
It wasn't choreographed?
No.
Like at all?
So it's funny. We actually, Travis and I just talked about this. So we went to a slew of weddings because, you get to that age and everyone's just getting married because it's the thing to do, American dream. And we're still fighting about this because Travis thinks that we did our first Paradise by the Dashboard Light by Meatloaf. Rest in peace, Meatloaf. He just passed away recently. And he thinks we did it at college. I say no, we did not. We did it at a wedding. We did it at a friend's wedding. It was very spontaneous. The song came on, like Meatloaf, and we just started acting it out. Because if you know the song, it's very long, but then the woman and the man come on and they start debating and all this good stuff. And Travis and I just acted it out. Okay. So it became a thing. So then at our wedding, we wanted to do it. And I remember the DJ, he kind of messed up. I loved our DJ, but he played the whole song. We didn't want him to play the whole song because it's so long. So literally we're just dancing around, looking silly. And then the scene came on and we acted it out.
Yeah. And it was crazy because I was like, I can understand with you because you used to dance and all that, so you're very choreographed when it came to that. When I saw Travis do it, because like you said, he's very like calm, cool, quiet kind of guy. And when I saw that, I was like, who the fuck is this guy? I was like, this is Travis?
Yeah, no, I remember. We did it, so we did that so many times. But yeah, no, we acted it out. And I remember at one point, I think I have a picture of it, he slid underneath my wedding dress.
He did. I was like, whoa, you better watch out there, bub. 19-year-old Brandon at the time. But yeah, I remember that was the highlight of the wedding right there. Aww. I loved it. I thought it was great. It was something I never thought I would see from Travis.
We went to a couple more weddings years after that, and it was requested. So we had to do them at weddings, but we have not done that since, about 8 years ago.
Now you have two beautiful kids, Jackson and Jameson, who are my nephews.
Yes.
Actually, with this recording, I did take care of him the night before. It was great.
He's doing good.
I am. I hope to have 12 kids one day. 12.
Why?
And Kat's going to probably beat me up after this.
Dude, you could have your own team.
I love kids, man. I want 12 kids. I mean, I did want to be an elementary school teacher at one point in my life. So
I know you've been so great at that.
So before we close the show,
Yep.
There is one story I got to mention about Travis, which
geez.
I'm sure you heard. So the first concert I ever went to, and I do thank Travis for this because I'm happy I got to see Linkin Park.
That's right.
But no, I do appreciate him bringing me to that concert. I got to see them for my first concert. My favorite band in the world, Linkin Park. Rest in peace, Chester Bennington. So me wearing the skinny black jeans, the Converse shoes, the Linkin Park shirt, and I used to wear those sweatbands, the black ones or whatever. Yes. And I was so Linkin Parked out. I used to have a backwards hat, Linkin Park shirt, wallet. I was like, I'm ready for this. I used to have back in the MySpace days, I had a countdown of when the concert was going to be or whatever. I was so excited. So there was a funny story about that concert. So it was me, Travis, he got VIP tickets, and two of his friends who I only met that one time and one time only. And Travis was being very responsible that day. He wanted to make sure I was with him of all times. I was 15, almost 16 at the time. But I get it because he doesn't want to get in trouble with my parents.
Well, and I told him to take care of my younger brother.
Yep. So he brings me to the concert. The two friends, of course, they had a couple drinks. Got a little bit loaded. Whatever. It happens. So we were enjoying the shit out of the concert. It was a great show. I think there was a song. I think it was Faint from Linkin Park. So it was one of those jumping type of songs a little bit. So me and the two other guys, and again, these guys are a little bit heavier than me. I'm skinny. We're jumping up and down on the chair. Travis is just standing there, just enjoying the song, normally. Me and these guys were acting like idiots. We're just jumping up and down like, yeah, yeah. They both broke the chairs.
I remember this.
At the Verizon Wireless Arena.
I remember.
So if they watch this, they're probably going to sue me now, but this was like many years ago. So they jump up and down on the chairs. They both broke it, and at the end of the song, one of them grabbed the chair, like the bottom part of the chair, and he holds it up like a trophy. He's like, yeah! And after that happened, Travis was like, get down on the chair.
He was so mad.
He was pissed. I don't even think he hung out with those guys ever again after that. And those two guys got kicked out. Me and Travis stayed. So I was like, thank you. I did not get kicked out. Thank God. But that was like the number one thing that came to mind when it comes to Travis was that first concert.
Oh,
and
really?
those guys breaking the chairs. It was great.
I think one of my favorite memories, I don't know if you were there for that, Wayne went to, so this is obviously a different topic, but Wayne went to Taco Bell.
Okay.
It was a late night thing.
Yeah.
And it was when they just put it in down Main Street. And so he got Travis, whatever.
Yeah.
Something from Taco Bell. And Travis, it's not funny. Travis took a bite of it. He hates sour cream.
Okay.
Hates sour
cream.
cream. So he opens it up and got so angry about it that he takes his fist, Travis does, and slams it. Sour cream all over Wayne.
Oh, no.
Face, shirt, and I was just like...
Oh, my God. How is he still alive?
And Wayne just has that look of disgust on his face, like...
This son of a bitch.
And he just wipes it off his face.
No! It's on his face?
Yes! I mean, like, he slammed it because he was so upset about the sour cream. Like, totally a tiny problem, not a big deal. But to Travis, it was the end of the world because they put sour cream in his, like, crunchy burrito or whatever.
Oh, my God.
So he just gets up very calmly and just walks away. I was like, I can't believe he didn't yell at you.
I'm surprised he's still alive.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
But it was never
awesome.
spoken about. But I just remember Travis takes a bite of it, spits it out.
Was this at our house, too?
It was at the kitchen table.
Oh,
slams it down,
God.
and sour cream goes everywhere. And I was just like,
oh, my God. How old were you at the time?
we were like it was a summer of college or something like that. I don't know. And Wayne was nice and was like, I'll just go to Taco Bell. What do you guys want? And I was like, oh, thanks. And they put sour cream on it, which was, they usually, it's, I was just, but I remember him doing that. And I was like, ooh, like it squirted all over Wayne.
Oh, my God.
He was not happy, but he did not say anything either. It was never discussed. Wayne just came out with a clean shirt, and we were just like, we're going to go downstairs.
Now Dad's going to watch this, and he's going to be like, oh, now I remember that. Now I'm going to bring it up to Travis the next time I see him.
I'm going to squirt sour cream on you.
Well, I want to say thank you for coming on the podcast,
Thanks for having me.
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Memory lane, man. Me and drowning in the pool, I did not know that. So thank you for saving my life, and I will bring that action figure to you.
It's okay. Thank you for thinking of me.
Well, thank you, Megan, for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right.
All right, so before I get off, just want to say thank you for watching the podcast. And just so you know, in case you guys want to follow me on the Facebook page, it is B13 NerdCast and Randomness. You can also subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is www.youtube.com/B13 NerdCast and Randomness. And if you guys want to check out pictures or know when the next episodes are going to be, it will be on Instagram as well. It is called B13 Nerd. And eventually, I'm probably going to put some more nerdy stuff on there, like my collection. Stop making fun of me, or I'm going to beat you up. Not really, because you can whoop my ass, okay? So, yeah. So, check out all my social media and all that type of stuff, because I'm going to be a stripper one day, as you remember. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that story, but Megan, when I was younger, said I was going to be a male stripper, but we're not going to go there, okay? So, I just want to say thank you for watching this podcast. Megan, thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Megs 15, B13, we are out, and it's time to let the dogs out.